Hey guys, good morning. Welcome to the Shack, an LTWK podcast. As you can see, we are doing some video. Those of you who are just listening on the podcast, we're doing some video today.
We're social distancing.
We're doing, we're kind of on the social distancing thing, got it going on right now. So we're each at our own houses, and Mike is doing the technical thing, putting this all together on one screen. We're going to put this on YouTube and put it out on our podcast. So if you're listening on the podcast and you want to see what Sam looks like this morning, go ahead and go over to the YouTube channel and see what's going on. But we're all at home, and we're trying to make the best of a situation, and we have a really cool topic today. Sammy, what are we talking about, buddy?
Camp cooking and your favorite camp meal.
Right on. So we got some camp cooking talk going on. But first, let's introduce ourselves. For those of you who don't know what we look like, I look like this. My name is LT. Mike, you're up there.
Oh, I guess I'm next. So this is Mike. Hi.
Scooter, your man on the inside.
Sam.
I'm Sam, the camp cook.
Going left to right. Nick.
And I'm Nick.
The assistant camp cook.
Oh, there you go.
Nick has an official McDonald's apron, Sam. You need to get one.
I do.
I'm
sure we can do that, yeah.
So I think one of the reasons that we wanted to talk about camp cooking is because we all like to eat really well when we're camping. I mean, that's one of the things that I know that weeks before a camping trip, Sam's in the office and we're already making up menus. Am I right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I got to have it all planned out so I know what I'm bringing and when I'm cooking it.
One of the best parts of the camping is the eating, to me anyway. You know. Yeah. Now, we're not talking about backpacker, low weight, pack and end stuff. We're talking, you've got a fridge in the back of the truck. I got a fridge in the Jeep. Whoever else comes, we either have fridges and full of stuff to eat. I mean, just straight up.
So let's just preface, because I think people kind of think that camp cooking, and it can kind of span a whole thing. We're specifically talking really about car camping and cooking, and overlanding. And
I don't know. I actually have some stuff about lighter weight camping, because I started getting products from a company called Firebox, but it's still like a higher quality experience. It's not backpacking meals, but I don't know. I might even show them here. I brought them up. I got 2 cooking implements from them that are really cool that let you do a lot of stuff with lightweight.
Is that the little fold up like titanium?
Yeah.
Okay. I see.
Yeah,
that's cool stuff.
But they started making pots and pans too, and
okay.
I've been experimenting with those on hikes a lot, and they work really good.
Yeah. I think one of the things is really camp cooking, kind of like camping. You kind of whatever you like to do, right? I mean, if you're the backpacker guy, you've got your things. If you're the guy, like Mike said, we're doing some car camping where we take our trucks out, we do a little wheeling, we hang a hammock, base camp, that kind of thing. So there probably is different, levels of the camp cooking. But I know we're specifically, because of the 5 of us, we're more of the wheeling, kind of staying close. Now, Nick is probably more of a backpacker out of the 5 of us, I would guess.
Mike's probably like the most backpacker person, but I mean, I like to do a lot of hiking and stuff. So that's, and I'm not a car guy, so that's more you guys' niche, but I definitely like going around in my Jeep, and I do love camping and cooking out of it, so.
And I'm sure you like to eat.
I do.
How can you camp
and when he has
Jeep that has no lift kit?
I just make do.
When he has access to a fridge, he will make sure he loads it completely full of stuff.
I do.
I promise.
That is very true.
Speaking of the fridges, if you guys haven't seen them, Dometic is the fridge company that we use their product. We have some very nice, I don't know what my cord is, Sam knows all the details on our fridges. They work very, very well. We use them quite a bit. Am I right?
I think we have every size from the small in between the console unit all the way up to a 60 quart. So we've got like 2/3 of their line covered.
Yep. Big fan of the Dometic fridge. Sam's got at least 1 or 2.
I have 2. I have a 30 and a 60.
Jeez.
I have two as well. One came with my Nobo trailer.
Oh, okay. Well, how many? Was it a fridge freezer or just fridge?
No, fridge freezer. It's just
Okay.
one big area.
Okay.
You know, it's not.
Oh,
the
you don't have a
full
dual zone?
thing. No.
Yeah.
And so's the other one. But Blake at one of the overland things had like a little class on how to pack it, and it would act a little bit more like a dual zone. Like
Yeah.
put the frozen veggies right where it's coldest, and then kind of step it away from there. It was
Yeah.
good. It was a good little class. Good.
No, that's the one over in PA, Mike.
Mid-Atlantic overland.
Mid-Atlantic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to that class. It was very
the middle end. Yeah.
good information.
Yep.
Now we like that stuff. So Sammy, since he's kind of the camp cook, I don't know if he volunteered or got voluntold, but
Well, at first I got voluntold, and then from there I just kind of took over.
because like Nich heads up the pouting, like he's head cook at the pouting and things like that. And I don't know, I can't remember how it happened. Sam just became you're the camping guy, and you make the list, you go shopping, you get the food. It just happened.
I like to make sure I have everything on my list, and I don't trust a whole lot of people to shop for me.
He has a scuttle. That was part of it, right?
Well, maybe that's because he had the stove.
Yeah.
That's one way to get voluntold to be a cook.
You have the equipment.
Yeah, you're good. So Sammy, let's talk camp cooking, buddy. Let's start right at the beginning, right there at where breakfast.
I guess. Do you want to go easiest to hardest, I guess, or the oatmeal, or clear to the big high-end 7-course meal?
Oh, you have to start with oatmeal because I mean that's where my stories begin on a lot of breakfast.
Oatmeal. See, I don't like oatmeal, so I don't cook a whole lot of oatmeal. I'm sorry, I just don't. But it is on my list.
Now, the quick down and dirty oatmeal, though, like for me, jet boil and the instant. I like the apple and cinnamon and a maple pack. Put both together, hit it with hot water, call it morning. I'm happy. That's my quick down and dirty.
I'll eat those if I have to, but they're not my go-to. I still like either whole oats or like actual cook oats, where takes a couple minutes to get them together.
Now, would you bring them? I mean, would you take them camping though? I mean.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
So what do you do at? Let's say you're on a campfire with oats. How you set it up?
Basically the same thing. One of these little pots that I was going to show later, maybe. It's like a little billy pot. Just oats right in there. Bring it to a boil. Let it cook for however long, and then once they're soft and the right consistency and everything, pull them off. Season them up with whatever you want. I've done them savory a couple times with cheese, but that's a little bit odd. It's better with sweet stuff and cinnamon, like what you're saying. But there's just something more filling, I think, about the whole oats.
Not going to disagree. I like them here at the house. I really just never. I think the convenience of the packs was one of the things I was.
For sure, you can't beat that.
Yeah.
Most of your individual cooking stuff, LT, is all just add hot water stuff anyway, though.
Yeah, but that's a really nice thing sometimes.
It is, but
a lot of times that goes back to cleaning your stuff, because again, I don't ever use my jet boil or anything but hot water. I never cook in it, so cleaning up makes it easy. But that's back when I thought I wanted to be a backpacker, so I was kind of going that mindset and like quick and easy. And then I realized I like camping better. So.
Some comfort.
All right, Sammy, what do we got going on, bud?
So if we're doing a kind of minimalist breakfast and I have the room for it, I'll do store-bought muffins as a quick, easy, just take, grab, and go kind of thing.
Right. Now, you're talking just to open the package, just like a box of donuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But still, nice, a quick get you going.
Yep.
That'll do.
I think we skipped over coffee, which was we should have started there. Got to start the morning with a cup of coffee.
Holy cow.
All right. So, again, one of my go-to coffees is the tea bags, the Folgers tea bags. I put 2 or 3 in my handy-dandy camp cup. Look at that Shaq sticker right there. How cool is that? And that's until Sam has coffee ready. That's how I drink coffee.
That's your coffee while you're waiting for coffee.
I'll sit and perk 14 cups.
Nice. I have a French press thing for my jet boil. I usually fire that up.
Yeah,
for the longest time, I ran that jet boil French press thing upside down. Where it's sort of a cup. I had it the wrong way on there, and I kept getting grinds in my coffee, and that doesn't bother me a ton. But for those of you that maybe don't know out in the world, that little cup part is supposed to go down into the pot, not
It
up.
has a little flange shape.
That's it. Yep.
That goes down as if it was scraping the sides of the container.
And the only reason I did it that way, somebody showed it to me that way. Yeah.
And if you put, I've had this happen a couple times. If you put, I think it's either too much water or something, and then you go talk to Sam while he's making real coffee, and it explodes. There's coffee schmegma just all over your camp table and the jet boil and the neoprene and this.
I got a really nice burn on my hand once from that.
The jet boil exploding?
Yes, because the screw on mine that turns the gas on and off broke, and I was holding it.
Oh, that's right. I
trying
remember
to turn
that
it
too.
off, and it exploded on my hand.
Whoops.
Yeah.
Okay, good, Sammy. Coffee. How do you make the coffee?
How do I make the coffee? I put it in a percolator and turn on a propane and wait for 45 minutes for it to perk.
We all have.
That's why I do the tea bag first. But you know what? Again, out having coffee outside, like camping, even waiting on it, it's good. It's worth it. You know, perk coffee, great, no doubt about it. Now I have also. Have you guys ever tried those? The little like pixie sticks, and
Starbucks Via.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I have tasted with something. I don't know. It comes with an
Got
MRE.
some Folgers in the cupboard. Yep.
In an emergency,
Yeah.
I think I like the tea bag over that. You know, that's like the step below the tea bag, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And then getting all the way up to the perk coffee.
I see you, Mike. I see you.
I'm watching you.
Don't be saying it.
But that's I'm all in. Yeah. Now, do you guys like the comfort of having a ceramic cup as opposed to a metal cup, a mug, and cup? Do you have? That's what you take. Okay.
Yep. This is actually a thermal cup. It's made by Black Rifle Coffee.
Right on.
I love this thing. It keeps my coffee hot for a couple hours, and it's just a regular open mug.
Mm-hmm. Now, see, I'm kind of this guy. I take this. And some of the reason is because I can seal the top when I drop it and set it down because I'm stupid clumsy, and it falls over and I don't spill stuff. Now, Elaine, on the other hand, she likes me to pack a ceramic cup for her. That's the way she likes her coffee, and it's worth packing the cup. What do you think, Mike? Mike, you don't even drink coffee.
It comes in a twist top
I
bottle.
prefer mine in plastic, with the soda in it. But Laura likes the Yeti insulated coffee cup. It's very much like Nich's, and it's got that sippy cup lid on it. So that's what we usually take for her.
Nice.
I have a ceramic cup with me typically, but I also have some. They're plastic cups. They're graduated on the outside, but they have a sleeve with a handle.
Oh, you got those at REI, right?
Yeah. We usually have three of those in the cup box. What?
Is it something that is it collapsible?
No.
No, but it's got like a fabric sleeve, and the plastic cup sits down in the fabric sleeve. It's pretty cool because it's got like a handle too.
It's a fabric, handle.
Aren't those made by GSI?
Yes.
I think they are.
All right.
But with the handle like that, there's not like this big handle sticking out in the Pelican box to take up room for something else. And then when you spill it or explode the jet boil all over your stuff, you can take the sleeve off and wash it. No big deal.
Sammy, what are you running, Sam?
I will pour it in whatever I have that does not melt. Doesn't matter what it is. As long as it won't melt and I can drink out of it, I'll have my coffee in it.
Do you drink out of the percolator sometimes?
That's a little too hot from the perk, but I mean, if push came to shove, I probably would.
That is one nice thing about the jet boils is if you really want to go bare bones and not break the bank on an ultralight kit, you can drink and eat right out of the jet boil cup
That
or
and an
pot or
$8
whatever.
spoon that slips on the side of it, and you're good.
That's it.
Speaking of the jet boil, has anyone made the titanium plastic cover replacement
Oh,
thing?
the cup thing?
Yeah,
I
from the
remember
bottom.
talking about
Yeah, that's my $1
I
million
don't know.
idea.
I never did look into that.
man, that's because that plastic thing. Well, mine's been broke now since the last time I camped with Scott. But other than that,
You did it, Scooter. You did it.
That with the measurements for like a 3/4 and
we
1
shot
cup
my
on the side.
tailgate on the Jeep on it. That's no big deal, but it was it is what it is. But we remember we were talking like, man, they ought to make this thing out of titanium. Gosh, it would be so cool because then you could use it for a bowl, a cup, and all that stuff. Yeah. So, Jet Boy, if you're listening, do that because we want one of those.
Be a nice upgrade.
Yep.
Right on. So I think that covers up the coffee, Sammy. I believe.
All right, so next on my list, and probably one of your favorites, is an egg, bacon, or sausage, or both, potatoes in a tortilla.
Right on. So now walk us. This is one of your and I can speak from experience. This is a world famous breakfast scuttle meal that Sam cooks.
Signature dish.
Yes. Go ahead, Sammy.
Well, you got to start with the bacon so you can get a good layer of grease down, get it nice and crispy. Then if you're doing sausage, cook it right in the bacon grease, just add some flavor. And then throw the eggs right in the grease and just mix everything together. Chop up the sausage and the bacon, just make a big, scramble in the middle of the scuttle. Throw it on a tortilla with some hot sauce and some shredded cheese. You've got yourself a killer breakfast meal on the go.
Now with the potatoes, now explain how you're doing because when I first saw this, I was kind of like, I don't know about this way of doing the potatoes, but I got to say, I don't hate it.
Well, I started out doing frozen potatoes, hash browns and home fries in a bag. Those take up a ton of room in the fridge. And at home here, my dad always uses canned potatoes. Well, you don't have to keep those frozen or cold. You can just throw them in the back of the truck in a bag or wherever they need to be. Pop them open, throw them on the scuttle, cook them.
Puppy!
Sorry.
Got to cook those in the bacon grease too. Get a little flavor to them. But the canned potatoes just make things so much easier. They're already, they're pre-cooked. You pretty much just have to warm them up.
Yeah.
See, I don't know. For me, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to just throw in, but I get the dehydrated hash browns from Sam's Club. It comes in a huge milk carton essentially of potato. That's really good. That works really good if you're trying to go for that lightweight alternative and still have your potatoes and everything. Because you put them in a Ziploc bag with water and let them soak for a minute. Then usually I'll cook something else like the bacon while that's on, and then those potatoes go right into that. So it's a nice hiking alternative.
I've done that same thing, but with the potatoes in a can like Sam uses. Take them out of the can and put them in a Ziploc bag. Throw them in your backpack.
Oh, there you go.
Take
It's
them.
interesting.
Okay.
But I will say those dehydrated potatoes are so light.
Yeah.
There's no weight to them at all.
Well, right before you would, because I'm not familiar with those, so right before you would put them, say, in the scuttle, you're going to put them in a bag, shake them up like a shake and bake thing, or what?
Yeah, kind of. So you take them, you add water, and it's better if it's a little bit warm water. You add those to the potatoes and you let them sit. Then you do something else. I think on the package it actually recommends for 15 minutes. You let them sit and rehydrate, and then they can go right into the scuttle. I don't usually wait that long. You don't have to. But they always come out nice and crispy. I mean, I almost couldn't tell that they were dehydrated, honestly, because they taste so nice and crispy when they're done.
That's quite interesting. I've not experienced that, but I know, like what Sam was saying, the idea when we used to do the frozen stuff, just a little bit inconvenient. Just wasn't
for sure.
Right? We never had super great luck. And he switched over to the canned potatoes. I was like, oh my gosh, how much easier is it? They're just great.
And like you said, it doesn't take up space in your fridge, so that's pretty good.
Well, like Mike was saying, though, I didn't even think about you could take them out of the can, put them in a Ziploc bag either. But
Yeah.
that's not a bad thing. Now, I think, Sam, one of the really huge things is you've got one thing dirty now, depending on where you're camping, how much water access or cleaning, right? Because you're scuttle.
Yep.
And basically, you're not having forks and plates and everything else when you're setting up with the burritos. I mean, it's a great setup, right?
Yeah. Easy to clean. And I almost exclusively cook on the scuttle now. I do bring a single burner stove with me in case I got to boil some water or something.
Or make
but I try to base all of my meals off of the scuttle.
I saw a scuttle that was built to go over a fire. I thought that was pretty cool. So it doesn't have any plastic legs or anything like that. It's all metal, and the legs are a little bit shorter than the standing scuttle, but it's made to go right over your fire.
Well,
I really like that. I might have to look for that.
You'd be able to do that with any of the regular scuttles because the burner's just sitting on the bottom and all the pieces are metal, so you could just set it over a fire.
Yeah, but I thought some of the leg parts were plastic on those.
No, they're all metal.
Okay.
The extensions that we made are plastic, but those come right off. Hey, Mike, real quick, why don't you talk about the scuttle a little bit?
Scuttle is it's a cast iron cooking disc that was popularized in Africa and Australia, and there's a company in the U.S. called Tembo Tusk that makes them, and now there are a bunch of other companies, and you can actually buy DIY kits on them, but it's basically a cast iron disc with a burner underneath it, and very similar to a wok setup. So there's a hot section in the middle and cooler pieces on the sides, but the heat radiates out because it's cast iron. Works really well for cooking and very easy to clean up because you basically just kind of scrape it off and keep it seasoned like cast iron. So it works very, very well.
Yeah, I mean, and storage, simple. Take it apart, put it in a bag. And Mike just sent me a picture of a guy who stores his up behind the roll cage on the Jeep near the window. And I never even thought of that. And crap, that would have been great right up there.
Yeah.
Thinking, man, I could set that up. Yeah, when we first got introduced to the scuttle, it took a little bit of getting it, because you're hot and then it cools out. But then after you kind of figure it out a little bit, and now Sammy's done it so many times, man, he's got it down. Didn't you try pancakes on there?
No, we were going to, but we didn't get the opportunity to do it yet. But I will try it.
And rolls.
I still want to try like cinnamon rolls and bread and stuff like that. I've seen the way that they do it with the raised grate, and then you put water in it, and it kind of just steam cooks things. There's actually a whole scuttle cookbook that Tembo Tusk makes that has a couple hundred recipes in it.
Okay. In fact, cinnamon rolls on the scuttle are some of the best cinnamon rolls you're ever going to have.
That's because you're outside.
Not just that, they're just so soft. They're fantastic.
Because they're steam cooked.
Yep. And another thing that I know we're getting off track here, the popcorn on the scuttle, we'll get to that later. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Sounds good.
So the burrito, hands down, super easy. It's one of those, like, if you're setting up and you're going to cook for a couple guys, like, let's say the five of us will camp and Sammy's cooking, he's getting his eggs. He puts everything in the scuttle, and it's kind of like whenever we just, hey, it's ready. You come over, you literally take the spatula he cooked with, hold your burrito, throw your stuff on, stand there, eat it, clean up as a spatula and a scuttle, right? I mean, it's great, especially because, God, we're not the best at cleaning stuff up anyway. So, so that is absolutely hands down my favorite camp breakfast is that. What he does on the scuttle, I could eat that every time, and nothing
you
else.
usually do if you go camping with Sam. So.
Well, now, what else you got, Sandy?
Well, repeatability leads to perfection. So Sam's really good at those. So.
This last one here I have listed under breakfast is my Saturday morning. We're hanging out at camp for a while. Let's cook a nice sit-down meal.
Okay.
So eggs, sausage, bacon, potatoes, covered in cheese with some country gravy on top.
Right on. We had that at Somerville when we went down kayaking. Yes.
Yep.
So explain that one, because that was also right on the money. Good one.
So same thing. I always start with the bacon, cook all the meats first, get all the nice juices down in the center of the scuttle, and then do the potatoes, and then scramble the eggs in there, and then take a bag of shredded cheese and pretty much dump it on there, cover the whole thing. And then if I've got the room, I'll cook the country gravy right in the center of the scuttle. So you're just warming it up. I buy it in a jar from the grocery store, and then put it on a plate, cover it in gravy, and enjoy.
That sounds like it needs biscuits, though. If you're going to make it a sit-down meal, I feel like that one needs biscuits added to it.
I might have to add that to the list next time then.
You got to
Make
do
those
the
on the other
biscuits on the
scuttle.
scuttle though, so they're all soft and delicious.
Oh yeah,
There you
that would
go.
be good.
See?
Yeah,
You have the lid, right?
yeah, I have a lid.
Yeah. Now that's not, you got that off Amazon, didn't you?
Yeah, I bought that off Amazon because it covers the entire top of the scuttle, where the one from Tembo Tusk only covers the center of it where it's hot. I wanted to be able to cover the whole thing so I could keep all the heat in there. I think
Makes
it's
sense.
$14 off Amazon. It's a wok lid.
Yeah. I've also seen people that buy like a giant stainless steel bowl from a kitchen supply store that covers the whole thing, and then they just put a handle on the bottom, and they're $5 or $6 for those things too.
There you go.
Not bad. Yeah. You got a go-to breakfast you like besides what eating with Sam?
My go-to breakfast if I'm car camping and have the equipment is I like to do sausage and biscuits and gravy. So get the sausage, cook it on a cast iron skillet, do the biscuits in the cast iron skillet, and then heat up the sausage gravy in a can or a jar or even the packets and do it that way.
Yeah, good plan. Scott, what's your specialty?
I am not the camp cook guy. And if you remember when we went to PWIP, I just put some meals in some Ziploc bags, and that was trail mix, chocolate, and beef jerky, and just kept munching out of those bags. Now, that was just me, like, really solo camping. It
The
has
bachelor
been,
days.
since we got the trailer, since we, go car camping and stuff with Michelle and the kids, that has changed a bunch. And I'm the guy who is watching the food get cooked, basically. Although if I had to do it, just very simple: bacon, eggs, coffee. If I have bread, I'll have toast. If not, it's not a big deal. But we usually take some kind of burrito thing when we go camping, because that's just quick and easy. It's the plate, it's the the vessel, and you can eat it.
Yeah, for sure. Tortillas like that are awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nick, you got a
What's that?
Bacon
You
and
have
eggs,
Nick?
coffee. Simple stuff.
I do. Like I said, I've been doing a lot more hiking stuff lately than car stuff. So I do those hash browns I was talking about before with bacon and usually 2 over easy eggs. Yeah, really easy, light. Everything packs into the one little kit. It's actually this little kit right here. So like you can fit the eggs in there, and this if I open it up later, I'll show you. It's like it can be like a hard shell and protects the eggs, and yeah, it's a nice little setup.
Yeah, that's not bad. Now, do you cook in that?
Yeah. So this is actually anodized aluminum, which turns out acts a lot like cast iron. Like you can season this. So with this kit, you get these 2 pans, and there's a pot lifter, but this one is specifically like your skillet. But you can see the shine on there. That's actually, it's seasoned, just like cast iron. But these 2 pieces can go together like that, and then it all fits back into the bag, and it makes like a hard container and protects the eggs, and everything goes right in there. And yeah, quick, really quick. So
That's a nice setup. See, even with like when Elaine and I even go kayak, she's okay with the oatmeal out of the jet foil.
There's nothing wrong with that for sure.
Days, but she'll do it for one day. And then we'll always have like bananas, an orange, some fruit that she probably cuts up, and we have some cold fruit with us, things like that. That just kind of supplement if we have to supplement the oatmeal a little bit or something like that, But that I think it works well. Well, was that pretty much? Anybody have anything else they want to talk about for breakfast? Did we miss something?
The only thing I wanted to throw out there was about the coffee.
Okay.
So what I'm drinking here, I posted on the Pout House about this the other day. Because of the whole quarantine thing, people are having a hard time finding milk and some other things and stuff. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't have a latte machine or a milk frother here at the house. But I like fruity coffee. I don't really, I'll drink black coffee, and some days I really crave it, but a lot of times I like my fruity coffee. So I came up with this, and I'm sure I'm not the only person or the first person, but the way it works is you need heat. Sorry, UPS guy just came to my back door. You need heat, water, powdered milk, instant espresso, and if you want flavor. And you make essentially make warm milk and add in the instant espresso. It's Medagliadoro instant espresso, which LT, your buddy Carrie, introduced me to. And then you just whisk it all together with like a fork or whatever, and it makes a latte without any extra equipment. You just need a pot and a cup, and it's great.
And a fork.
And a fork.
Or your
Use a stick if you had to.
So you have like Nick's Starbucks latte machine in the woods.
That's it.
Fancy.
Laura's been drinking toffee nut flavored creamer in black coffee that we also add some Hershey syrup to, stir it up, and put whipped cream on top of it. So that's her first brewed coffee with no machinery.
Cool.
I probably would enjoy that once, but I'm a black coffee guy. Again, I used to be a creamer guy, but again, remember that story I told earlier about this time I wanted to be a backpacker? I thought creamer was too heavy, quit carrying it, and started drinking black coffee. And then I quit thinking about wanting to be a backpacker, so maybe I should drink creamer.
I can make you one of my foofy lattes here. You can try that.
Oh, no. Although, what's that thing I had in Portland, Mike?
Chai tea latte.
I can make that.
I gotta say, I do have a like of those, so that's good.
If you can serve it with some avocado toast, he'd be on you.
I love avocado toast too, so yeah.
Yes, now, believe it or not, an avocado toast with a side soft-boiled egg. Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Oh, yes. I like that a lot myself.
I was with my wife this year in Dallas. We were out there, and they had this little place, and we went in to get a coffee and an avocado toast, and it was a soft-boiled egg. And she said, I used to have them when I was a kid. My mom made them when we were sick and stuff. And I was like, oh, really? Well, we tried it, and I was like, wow, this is really – I've never had one. That's amazing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I like
that. Did you do that when you pulled into Dallas?
On a hot
well done.
Not nice.
Yeah. Anyway, so does that take care of breakfast? Anybody, did we miss anything else?
Now that we just spent about 45 minutes talking about breakfast.
I'm glad I had breakfast before we started. I'd be really hungry now.
Oh, right on.
I'm sure we can do a whole show on coffee.
We probably could, actually.
What's that?
We could do a whole show just on coffee.
Oh, yeah. If we got right down to it.
How do you guys feel about the cowboy coffee, where you make it right, like put the grounds right in the water and then splash of cold water at the end?
Yeah.
No?
Had to.
You're right. Exactly. If that's all had.
I don't hate it.
See, I would just not drink it.
But in all fairness, most of the stuff you perk, she kind of gets grounds.
Yeah, I mean, the last cup's pretty full of grind, so I just dump that out. But I do not like grinds in my coffee.
All right. So hey, let's move on to lunch. Sammy, since you're the cook, you get to start. So talk to us about your camp lunching.
Normally, honestly, I don't do a whole lot for lunch because I'm normally coming from a decent-sized breakfast. So it's normally something simple like a lunch meat sandwich, bag of chips, and a piece of fruit. Sometimes I'll do leftovers from dinner the night before, if there is any. When I'm cooking, I tend to overcook. There's always something left over for the next day. And then if I don't have any of that stuff, I'll just make some ramen real quick.
Oh, wow. You must be hurt.
That's my. I do a big breakfast and a big dinner, and lunch is if I get to it.
Yeah, you know what? Lunch sometimes we do end up skipping because we're doing something. You know, we're just messing around, and then all of a sudden it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And you're like, wow. I agree with you. So that's pretty much all you got, Sam?
That's all I've got written under lunch.
All right, Mikey.
Kind of the same with Sam, and as Scooter had said, most of our exposure to car camping is either we're going to an event where we're working, or we're going somewhere where we're planning on hiking or four-wheeling or shooting or something during the day. So for me, lunch is just something that I kind of am a grazer anyway. So I'll just eat throughout the day and not really have an organized lunch. If it's a hiking thing, I almost always make some type of a trail mix to have with me to stop and, when you have some water, grab a handful of trail mix. And that's kind of my dedicated lunch.
Good plan. Or Oreos.
Well, yeah, that's grazing anytime.
All right, Scott, what do you got?
I, too, am not a huge lunch person, but like I said before, when we did the PWIP thing and I had those bags of stuff already mixed up, I'd grab one or two of those and be fine. So it's just something quick and dirty, hand food real fast. Definitely some beef jerky, some water, something else if I had it to drink, but might whip up another cup of coffee or something. So nothing too crazy. If I really get like, oh man, I really got to eat something. I'm diabetic. Sometimes I got to eat something. I'll just make up some kind of mountain house, something or other, and boil some water.
Oh yeah.
Quick.
Mountain House, that's a whole subject of its own because there's some really good Mountain House meals out there that are pretty good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Salty, but good.
Nick, what are you thinking for your lunch? What are you kind of digging on?
If I'm hiking, since I started that way, I'll continue on. I like tuna in the envelope or sardines in a can, something like that for a nice, easy, quick. I agree with all you guys, though. I'm not a huge fan of stopping for lunch, whether it's, a base camp thing or not. If I'm car camping, I like cold cuts, just a regular, either in a wrap or a sandwich or whatever, something simple like that. But I don't want to spend a ton of time with lunch because that's usually, like Sam was saying, peak activity during the day. And yeah. So easy is better.
And same for me, too. Generally, lunches are around wrap because of the convenience. Again, don't have a lot to cool up. We've got the fridges, so you got your lunch meat, your cheese. Or like you said, I forgot about the tuna packs because that is something that we do carry. Stupid easy. Right?
And they come in so many really good flavors now, too. You can get buffalo, Thai, ranch, whatever you want.
Yeah. So setting up something like that. And then what Elaine and I do is we mix up our own bags of nuts. So we'll go up to the grocery store and buy like 5 or 10 different brands of nuts, seeds, and dried beets and carrots, and then just make our own, I guess, trail mix in a sense.
Horse food, I think, is what you're looking for.
Horse
food, that's what horses eat. So.
Hey, it's good.
I thought trail mix had to have chocolate. Where's the chocolate?
I don't know.
Right, you got to throw M&Ms in there, buddy.
Yeah, it's not trail mix. Have to have chocolate.
Always. Yes, it does.
I would enjoy what he's talking about. You guys are chocolate bigots.
Give me all the chocolate then.
Hey.
All right, give Sam the bag of M&Ms.
It's really the same nut mix we eat every single day. We do it on Sundays. We set them up, and I have containers, and I'll sit there with all these open bags and take spoons, and I divvy them out for all of us, and I make them. We put them in the cupboard, and we just grab one a day, and they're already pre-mixed and ready to go, and it works out really good. Now, beyond that, having a piece of fresh fruit, I love to have an apple. Easily transportable when you're camping. A bag of apples is easy to work out. And then because it's the weekend, Snickers bar or a bag of M&Ms. I don't hate it.
The peanut M&Ms
I hate a Snicker bar.
made for camping.
Oh, right on. Yeah. 2-pound bag. Well, the little ones, they're not.
Yeah, don't waste your time with a little bag.
Right.
Yeah. They call those the fun size bags, those little ones. I call them just to make you mad bag because you get it open and you're like, I'm done. 2 pounds.
I prefer the sharing size for sharing with me.
Exactly, 2-pound bag.
Right.
So yeah, I'm same as you guys on lunches, man. Wraps and cold cuts. Again, we're always doing something. You know, we stop.
Hi, Miss Lane.
Oh, apparently they
No, why did you say hi?
actually work, and we had some sales over the weekend, so she's doing her thing.
Excellent.
But yeah, no, I mean cold cuts all the way. Got to be right, and beef jerky.
Yeah, I like beef jerky.
It's
too.
that you just have that in your BDU pocket, right, and just beef jerky all day. Sammy, you were talking about the ramen stuff earlier.
Yeah.
Mikey, I think Mike and I had done this somewhere. I remember doing it, and I think Mike was with me. Ramen noodles with an egg and beef jerky thrown in it because the beef jerky then reconstitutes a little bit. Was that you, Mike?
Yeah. We made Asian ramen beef jerky thing.
Something, yeah. And it's not bad. Man, throw the egg in there and the beef jerky and the ramen noodles. The whole ramen noodle thing.
Yeah.
Quite a bit. So,
I save my eggs for that 12-course breakfast.
Now, when we make miso here at the house, we put the egg in there. Oh my gosh, that is so good because it's like LT was saying. It's sort of like a soft-boiled egg or a poached egg where it gets a little bit runny still. Oh man, that's really good in the soup.
I've also done hot dogs in the jet boil.
Oh, I never tried that. That's interesting. So you just boil in the hot dog?
You put the 2 cups of water in, you put a couple of hot dogs in there, and just warm them up and eat them.
Nick, why no?
My scoutmaster had these rules about camping and food. And this is part of why I like to eat now, because he was a big fan of quality over quantity and all that, and he would call that refugee food because you're not really cooking anything. He felt the same way about ramen if you didn't do anything to it. He wanted you to always be, trying new things and not just, I don't know, I guess not just skating, but he wouldn't have been a fan of hot dogs in a jet boil.
That's a backpacker meal for me, though, because, I mean...
Oh, no, that was
2
the
or
same
3
rules
hot
for
dogs,
backpacking.
2 or 3 hot dogs does not weigh anything, and they don't really need to be refrigerated because they're already cooked. So if you take them out of the fridge, put them in your backpack, go out for lunch, they're still going to be
Sure.
I have witnessed this, and I think somebody got burned with the hot dog water, but it was a while ago. So it's a tool,
Actually,
it's also a weapon.
Not trying to sound like a judging.
After you're done with the hot dog, you have your hot dog soup water.
You just squirt them down in there and watch the jet boil.
That sounds very, very salty.
I like to make my coffee out of that water. Delicious.
Oh,
Man. But
why
Mike,
don't you just chop up some bananas and put that in there too?
wait a minute.
The ultimate is you make the mac and cheese, you make the macaroni, and you put the hot dogs in there while you're making the macaroni.
I can't hate on the hot dog idea with Mike because it's not a bad way to get a hot
It's
meal.
not terrible, no.
It works.
No, it's terrible.
No, I mean, I don't have a problem with hot dogs. When it comes to camping, that's not...
If I've got
I like to eat
and
good.
I've got hot dogs, I'm going to cook the hot dog over the fire, not in a pot.
I see your point. I get your point. But I mean, I grew up on boiling the hot dogs, so the boiled hot dog to me isn't like that's normal.
Like when you boil them long enough till they split, that's a good one.
Oh, yeah.
Well, to each their own, my friends.
Oh, gosh. All right, so let's see, where do we go? That was our lunches, right? So we kind of covered our lunches. Afternoon snacks, I don't know. Bags of nuts in the fruit.
Turkey.
Whiskey.
It's really just lunch, right?
That's it.
I like having liquid snacks.
So, Sammy, if we're going on to dinner now, and now it's the end of the day,
That's
we
the big one.
firewood, boiled all the water, and cleaned all our clothes and sleeping bags, and we and stuff that we're going to do for the day, and we're ready for supper. What are you cooking?
We're going to go like how we did breakfast and start with the simplest thing and work our way to the end.
Okay.
So I have Mountain House meals listed as my simple dinner.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, they work.
And there are some. I remember. I'll do this real quick. Camping with Tim Stetzer, a friend of ours, and he was reviewing, I think, for Mountain House for one of the magazines, and we had some meals, and we're eating up these different kind of meals. And at some point, we're sitting there and we're eating them. Scott, you might have been on that trip too, but I remember us going. We're like, huh, these are good enough. I would eat these at home, like during the week.
Yeah.
The only problem is they have so much salt in them, and they pack them full of all those weird preservatives. But I mean, they are good. They are really good.
I think they're like taco meals or the spaghetti and meatballs. There were some of them that where you were like, oh my gosh, this is great. This is not bad at all.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, Sam, but I had to tell that Mountain House thing because, gosh,
They are good.
I do enjoy a Mountain House meal every now and again. If I'm going a little more, I have to sit and watch something cook. Do sloppy joes. Pretty simple. Make the meat, throw in a can of sloppy joe mix, let it heat up, and
Now, do you mean sloppy joe with ground meat or sloppy joe Pittsburgh style with chipped ham?
I mean sloppy joe with ground meat.
Okay.
Chipped ham is not a sloppy joe.
I have heard people call chip chop sloppy joe. Pittsburgh people.
Well, they're wrong.
Whole life I've never heard of that.
Yeah, you live in Verona. Nobody pays attention.
Oh, thanks.
still a stellar fan.
He was a Packer fan for a while.
One season, one winning season.
Yeah, does anyone have a picture of him in that sweatshirt? Because that was fun.
I'll find it.
There is that jersey up for sale on the Pound House right now.
I saw that.
It's his size, too.
Yeah, no.
Too late. I'm having it shipped to your house.
Yeah, no.
Anywho, back to
I'm not
food.
trading in my Jack Lambert jersey for nothing.
After sloppy joes, tacos. And I mean tacos with the fixins. That's
Tacos with the fixins.
sour cream, cheese, lettuce, jalapenos, salsa, taco sauce, all of it.
So you're eating good. Now, you're talking hard shell now, right?
Hard shell, soft shell, or in a bag of Doritos, doesn't matter.
Now, ground meat or steak or what?
Ground meat.
You know, that taco in the bag thing, I'm not hating on that either.
I love taco in a bag.
It's fantastic in almost every bag of chips. I haven't found one yet that I'm like, this is awful.
Sour cream and onion.
Oh, fantastic. Cheddar and sour cream, fantastic.
You know the hard Cheetos?
Yeah.
Salt and vinegar maybe wouldn't be so good, but I don't know.
I bet it would still be okay.
I do like those chips.
What's that purple bag I like, Sam? What are those?
Blazing.
Sweet and spicy or something like that.
Man, are those good Doritos.
What?
Those are stupid good, you know. Taco in a bag, I like it. But, you know, regular hard shell tacos, you're right, at camp. Again, using your utensil to eat, so.
Yeah. And tacos they're an easy thing to make, and I don't know that I've met a person while camping that doesn't like tacos. So I could be proved wrong in the future, but so far everybody loves tacos.
How can you not like it? I mean, tacos are messy, and you just kind of spread your legs out and just drop it on the ground and walk on.
Or drop it into the next bag of Doritos in your.
Yeah, you gotta have either the other tortilla or the other bag under you, and you just
The food trough.
That's it. That's how we do it at home. Put the other tortilla on the plate. Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. Just making it easier for the next one. After tacos, chicken fajitas.
Oh, yeah.
Get through it.
Normally I let Grant cook that one, but obviously chicken and fajita seasoning, and he does red, green, and yellow peppers, I believe, and I think a little bit of onion. Chops all that up, sautés it all in the scuttle.
I'm a fan of the fajita.
Again, in a tortilla, because we take about 120 of those with us every time we go.
You don't take paper plates, you take fajitas.
Yeah, I take fajitas.
That's about true. Yeah. We might have to try oatmeal like that because I've not tried that.
Oatmeal on a fajita?
A
Enjoy.
tortilla.
Or a tortilla, enjoy.
So, do you eat with
I'll
your
try it.
Do you eat toast with your oatmeal, Sam?
No, I'll eat peanut butter
He doesn't
crackers.
like oatmeal.
With your oatmeal?
Yeah, peanut butter crackers. Saltines with peanut butter on them. Oh, my.
Toast, I would do. I don't know about crackers.
No, saltines.
Say no.
I think something I learned from my grandparents a long time ago.
Huh.
Not your parents, my dad's parents.
But I'm thinking oatmeal on a tortilla now. I'm thinking that might not be hateful.
With some peanut butter spread on there, that might be good.
Oh yeah, I like where you're going with that.
I guess you have to give that a try.
Oh, add that
Let's
to your
camp out.
Add that to the list. All right, I'm jotting it down right now.
Okay.
Let's see what else. Bacon cheddar burgers with baked beans.
Okay.
Now we're talking.
Now this is
So you know,
still on the scuttle, right? One.
everything's still on the scuttle. Nick, that's ground beef as well, in case you're curious.
In a burger, it makes sense. In a taco, that's just lazy. I'm not saying it's bad, but you can do better.
So I'll start with the bacon, get the nice bacon grease down there, and then cook the burgers in the bacon grease. Once they're good and cooked, throw the cheese on there, let it get melted. Move everything to the side, drain some of that grease out, and warm up the beans right in the middle.
No sleeping scooter.
I've only had one cup of coffee.
If you have a big mug like this, it'd be like 2 or 3. Be good.
True. No, just
I haven't drank a cup of coffee since our last camping trip.
Oh.
What is that red stuff you are drinking now?
This is V8 juice.
Yum.
V8 juice.
Yeah, it's like a fruit medley or something, I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there tomato in it at least?
I didn't hear what you said, Mike.
Is there at least tomato in it?
I don't know. My parents bought it. I just poured it in a cup.
Is it from the Mediterranean region of V8?
I'm sure it is.
Poor Sam.
Mike. All right, Sammy, what do we got? You still
This next one I'll let Mike talk about because I did steal this one from him.
Okay.
Hot Italian sausage, 4 cheese tortellini, and sun-dried tomato basil pesto.
I've
That
had
is
that.
good stuff. I like that.
Very easy camp meal.
Yeah.
You can get the sausage already cooked, so you just basically are warming it up. You can do that right on the scuttle, or you can do it, on the 2-burner stove next to the pot of boiling water that you throw the tortellini in. They actually have tortellini that's already cooked and everything, and you can basically just dump it all right into the bag that the tortellini comes in. So there's a couple different variations of it. I like to actually cook the tortellini, so you kind of get it all cooked up, and then you can put the pesto right into the hot pan, and it helps coat all of the noodles. And cut up the sausage, throw it in there. So very easy camp meal. 3 relatively small ingredients too. So
Are you making the pesto, or are you buying pre-made stuff?
it's pre-made in a jar, so it's a small glass jar of it.
So relatively simple to pack in.
Oh yeah, very easy.
But that and again, you're setting up and cooking for 4 or 5 nights. Right? I mean, you're just making a big stuff, full stuff.
Yeah.
And I have had that multiple times, and I am a fan of it as well. It is fantastic.
Yeah, it's very good.
That's another one of those meals that I have yet to come across someone other than a vegetarian that was like, I'm not going to eat that. So.
Yeah. But no, it's good stuff.
Lots of good flavors in that one.
Yeah.
Oh, pesto.
I will.
Right?
I will say you have to use the sun-dried tomato and basil pesto. That green pesto they've got just doesn't cut it.
No, I love regular pesto too.
It doesn't work for
You
this.
don't like regular pesto?
I'm telling you, it does not work for this meal. It probably works for other things, but this particular one
The
just isn't
sun-dried
right.
tomato pesto
I think it's
is
because
much
of the
better.
sausage, in part. Like, if you just put basil pesto on tortellini, that's good. But sometimes with the sausage and the grease and all that, it doesn't work. I agree with you there.
Very good. All right, Sammy, what else you got?
Well, one more thing on the tortellini in the scuttle.
Okay.
You can, in fact, cook pasta on the scuttle. Just fill it with as much water as you can, get it boiling, throw the pasta in there. Super easy to drain too, because you just kind of tilt it to one side. As long as you're okay with spilling a noodle or two on the ground and not telling the people that you dropped them, they'll be fine.
I just pick them up and throw them back in.
Exactly.
Most of the shows we go to, there are enough dogs that come by and steal it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've definitely got a scuttle pro going on. All right, you got another meal?
Oh yeah. Sausage sandwiches with cooked peppers and onions, in the sauce you get from the store, with some shredded cheese on them.
Right on. Yeah, again, that's a quick and easy one. What do you just package of buns, package of sauce, chop up some fresh veggies, and go?
I don't even chop up the vegetables. You can buy it from the store, the peppers and onions in a jar of sauce already.
Oh, okay.
And you just heat it up.
Gotcha. Yeah, like that one or quite a bit. All right, well, we'll come back around to you in a second. Mikey, you got to go to besides your tortellini?
The other one that I am a big fan of when we go camping is those pre-seasoned either pork loins or turkey loins.
Okay.
So it's basically like a log of meat that you put on the scuttle or on the grill top, or you can do it in a cast iron skillet on the fire. Do that with mushrooms in an aluminum foil pillow with some Italian dressing. Throw that right in the fire, and then like salad in a bag or something to go with it, basically. But the pork tenderloin and mushrooms is just delicious and very easy to make.
And that's on a fire, right? You're kind of going with the fire thing?
You can do that on the fire or on a 2-burner stove. I've never tried cooking it on the scuttle, but I'm sure it's possible. You just would have to move it around a bit.
Elaine and I have done it on a scuttle.
Yeah.
At Bannon that year, we made that pork loin.
Oh, right on the scuttle?
Yeah, we made it on the scuttle.
Okay.
But the mushrooms are in the aluminum pillow are really good if you can either put them in the fire or just straight on a grill.
Now, are you putting them in dry?
You put them in with Italian dressing.
Oh, okay, that's right. You said dressing. Okay. That ought to flavor them really nice. Though.
Yeah, and then you can pour that right over the pork tenderloin, the dressing and the mushrooms and everything.
Does that make the mushrooms come out like a lot softer?
Yeah.
Than when? Oh, okay, so they're actually cooking up.
Yeah,
to the
they
soft.
kind of steam in the pillow, but the Italian dressing helps season them up too.
Oh man, I'm almost liking that a lot. Wow, that sounds like a good flavor. Mushrooms and Italian dressing just work anyway.
I made that at Blade last year for you guys on the grill with whatever we had.
I like that idea. That's good. Scott, you got to go too?
Yes. Whatever Michelle's cooking.
She goes, dinner's ready. I go.
She's upstairs at the moment. She should just fill in for me down here. But the one camping trip we had, when we camped at the off-road park, remember, I think we had shrimp skewers and or pork chops or a steak, and she has some kind of seasoning that she puts on her, or like a liquid smoky flavor or something or other. It's delish. And like I said, since we got the trailer, we have and the camp stove and the Dometic. She brings all kind of good stuff. So
Nice.
Meat and potatoes, but I do like some seafood too if we go. But if it's me, Mountain House meal, just quick and dirty.
Gotcha.
I'm done. That's all. Something to drink. nothing to, I'm sorry, I'm not too, never was too fancy. I'm not a great cook, but going camping and stuff, even car camping, just easy, quick stuff. Like when we're at PWYP, I'd rather not spend a ton of time cooking and eating because I only see these people once a year at this event, so I want to either have it like if it's a mountain house, I can walk around with it in a bag, try and keep Carrie out of it, or sharing with him because he walks around with his sport. Trying to
He is a notorious moocher.
And just so I can go schmooze and be a social butterfly, I guess a little bit, but
Yeah.
not at all. Pretty easy stuff.
All right. Nick, you got something?
I do. I am a steak, baked potato, and mushrooms and onions kind of guy. That's got to be one of my most favorite dinners to cook camping and have. The smells and everything are great, and yeah.
Now you're talking a fire kind of thing, cast iron. What are you doing?
I've done it a bunch of different ways. I haven't done it in this little skillet yet, but I don't see why you couldn't. I've done it in cast iron, done it over the fire. If you do it over the fire, like how Mike said, mushrooms and onions in a aluminum foil packet. I usually just put some butter in there if I do it that way. But yeah, steak, baked potato, mushrooms and onions, one of my faves.
Have you ever cooked the steak on a rock?
I did one time. It wasn't so bad. Like I know, yeah, some people don't like that. Some people do like the idea of it. My one worry was getting the right kind of rock, because if you get the wrong kind of rock and it gets too hot, it blows up.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, sandstone. Yeah, right on.
Yeah.
I think Elaine gave me one she wanted me to talk about because this is one that she does. So I'm going to give her the credit for it. I'm like Scott on this one. When she says, hey, this is done, I'll be over. She does like a kielbasa, sweet potatoes, pineapple, red onions, bell pepper in tinfoil. And now that kielbasa, because, the juices get out and then it starts just being real.
Sorry.
And Sam had that with us, I would think. Your aunt, that's one really good. And I'm a big fan of that for the dinner. That is
Sounds good.
not too kielbasa, man. I could eat kielbasa anytime. I like it. Trail, those kind of the meats that aren't real good for you, they just taste really good.
Especially camping.
All right. Sammy, you got a couple more you want to go over?
I've got one more listed here.
Okay.
Steak, garlic and parsley potatoes, and green beans.
Okay.
I'd eat that.
How's that on? That's all scottle, right?
I don't know that I've done this meal completely on the scottle.
Okay, well, talk us through it.
Last time we did it, Nick cooked the steaks. Remember them 3-inch thick ones?
Oh, I remember that.
They came out pretty good though, right?
They did. I did the garlic parsley potatoes on my single burner stove, just in a pot. Boil the water, boil the potatoes. It's pretty much like you're going to mash the potatoes. You want that, consistency with them. Then dump out the water, throw in some butter and some parsley and toss them together.
Nice.
And then green beans are just heat them up out of the can.
I love green beans. Like I'll eat them right out of the can.
Oh yeah. Nothing wrong with them. The other day, because we're on quarantine right now with the coronavirus thing, she did some sausage, and just like you said, had a can of green beans, and we weren't trying not to make a big mess of stuff, so she just put them in the cast iron after the sausage was done, the sausage grease. We sit down to dinner and we're eating these green beans. We both kind of looked at each other and went, I said, where'd you get these flavored beans? She says, they're just out of a can. I said, they're delicious. She goes, what? I cooked them in the same cast iron as the sausage when the sausage was still in there. I was like, well, we got to do that every time from now on. Like cook canned beans here. Wow. So remember
I like that.
And leave the grease in there. Yeah. Put the beans in there and leave the grease right on.
Yeah.
So that kind of takes care of a lot of our cooking, which is cool. what I know that I have one Dutch oven thing for dessert, that late night after dark thing, and I'm sure all you guys know the same kind of thing. Did you have something you want to go over, Sammy?
I have. I normally just simple with some s'mores.
S'mores are good.
Yeah.
I like s'mores.
mean,
I do have a Dutch oven thing, but I'll let you go over yours first because I don't want to ruin it, just in case it's the same thing.
Taco. This is another Elaine thing. I'm not going to pretend like I make it, but she does, and she's good at it. I just put it in the fire for her. But this is like the stupidest simple thing. Dutch oven, 3 cans of peaches. Now it could be 2 cans, it could be 1 can. That's up to you. 3 cans of peaches, a third of a stick of butter. Heck, that's good butter, right? 1 box of vanilla cake mix, and 1 can of Sprite. Stupid easy, really darn good. And then you end up with peach cobbler.
Yep.
You could add more things to it if you want, but I mean, because when we
It doesn't really need anything else. It's quite good that way.
Yeah, just like that and it's easy. It's one of those things you really do it just that way. 30 minutes in the fire, take a look at it, good to go. Man, is that good. Again, Scott, eating it outside after dark. Oh, yeah, right?
Fantastic.
Yeah, living good. Is that what you were going to tell me?
Same thing. I just don't do peaches. I'm not a huge peach fan. So I'll do cherries or strawberries in a can.
Right.
Well,
the simplicity of doing that, though, right? I mean, work. Absolutely. Mikey, you got something?
Well, if I'm going with Sam, he pretty much demands that I bring berry pie with me from our local grocery store. So that's kind of our token dessert.
Speaking of that, my birthday was the other day, Mike. One of those is owed to me.
I know. As soon as they start firing up the bakery again, I'll get you one.
All right, Scott, dessert-wise?
Yes, whatever the other folks are making in their Dutch ovens.
And you sit there with your hands out.
My pie decks, yeah.
Right on.
I will say this one quick little story. I was at a Land Rover rally a long time ago, and I think this was the first time we had a lot of Dutch oven cooking, and the chicken got a little burnt, but I believe it was our buddy Nick Danger who made some kind of cobbler in the Dutch oven that I'd never had that before. Boy, was that good. Like a blueberry something or other, put the briquettes on the top so it cooks all around it. It was really good.
Good deal.
That was
good. Nick, you got one?
I'm a big fan of all the Dutch oven cobblers too. I really like the apple myself. So either canned or fresh apples, and then you ever see the apple crisp in a box? Put that right on top. I like that a lot.
Like a cake
cinnamon
mix?
Rolls, huh?
Is it like a cake mix, just in a box?
It's actually, it's more like a granola almost, because it's got like different stuff in there to give it that crisp crunch, but it's not like a cake or a crust. Well, I guess it is. It's a crust, not a cake. But yeah, you find it usually wherever they keep the apples in the grocery store, and it's just called apple crisp in a box. It's like cinnamon, some sugar, a bunch of other stuff, and you just pour that right on top of your cut up fruit or whatever you're doing it with, and bake it. But again, cinnamon rolls are probably my best favorite.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, those are good.
And you can make those in this thing because it closes up. Oh, it's really good. Surprisingly good.
I have seen a blueberry version of that crisp done on a spottle that was really good.
Ooh, I would like to try that.
And the person that was making it said that you kind of had to do blueberries or raspberries or something small because like the apple or peaches or something
would be too big.
The pieces were too big, so you had to do a smaller fruit with it. It was really
That'd
good
be okay though.
Yeah, I like that. Right on. Well, I think that kind of, cap your evening off with a nice packet of hot cocoa, hot chocolate, and a Snickers bar before bed. Keeps you warm all night. I'm set up and ready to go. Right on. Well, I think, did we cover most everything? Because I'm starting now.
Well, since Nick's on here, we should get what is your favorite campfire cocktail to go with?
Fair enough.
Cobbler.
All right, what do you got?
Am I going to start this one?
Yeah.
Have one.
Okay.
Hot chocolate.
Well, for in the evening, I really like a hot toddy, and that's a really camp-friendly, nice adult beverage because it's a shot of whiskey, hot water, and a lemon, and you squeeze it all together and stir in some honey. Keeps me warm all night long.
Take it.
Good.
I'll take one.
Yeah. Well, hey, I hope
Really easy to make.
I hope this definitely has inspired you guys from cooking. As you can see, a lot of the times when we go camping, we eat just as good as we do at home. And I learned that years ago on a camping trip, and one of the guys asked the guide who was taking us out on this trip, was like, so what kind of food you pack? And he goes, I eat the same if I'm here in the woods or at home. And I thought, well, why don't I do that? And that's when I thought, it makes more sense to really eat good. So instead of eating the same at home, I try to eat even better when we go to the woods. So I put Sam in charge most of the time. He'll have a whole layout, man. He'll have days and what's going on this day and set it up in the fridge. So we're good to go like that. But I have a lot of fun eating in the woods camping. I mean, that to me is like 50% of fun of the trip is eating. You know, I like that a lot. But we hope that this has inspired you guys to not only get out in the woods, but when you get out there, to eat good too. So, but again, podcast today. Thanks for tuning in to The Shack. We have had a blast. Hopefully this ends up on YouTube and they can actually see us sitting in our homes waiting this quarantine to be over so we can get back to making knives. Get some things going. So, guys, thanks for tuning in. God bless you, and we will see you again. Bye-bye.
See you.
Someone to tell her